Fast for Word, a reading intervention program presented by Jillian, Reagan, and Martina. Fast for Word is a computer-based reading program intended to help students develop and strengthen the cognitive skills necessary for successful reading and learning. According to manufacturers, 4 key components of the technology-based intervention work together to create the changes in brain function required to achieve universal literacy. Frequency and intensity. Neuroscience research demonstrates that completing a set of learning tasks in a frequent, intense time frame accelerates learning. Adaptivity. Exercises adapt with each keystroke to individual skill levels and responses, keeping students continuously challenged but not frustrated. Simultaneous development. Exercises develop major cognitive and reading skills simultaneously to produce lasting improvements in learning. Timely motivation. Tiered rewards are designed to maximize motivation from start to finish. There are 2 strains of the program: the Fast for Word Language and Literacy Series and the Fast for Word Reading Series. The Language Series is intended for students at the elementary level and builds foundational elementary school reading and language skills. There are 2 programs within the Language Series. Fast for Word Language, which focuses on listening accuracy, phonological awareness, and language structures. The second program is the Language to Reading, which emphasizes the link between spoken and written language to guide students to become proficient readers. The Fast for Word Reading Series is a leveled program that increases processing efficiency to build reading and comprehension skills. The fast-forward exercises develop critical brain processing efficiency in 4 key areas known as MAPs: memory, attention, processing, and sequencing. The level called Reading Readiness develops pre-reading skills focusing on letter recognition, phonological awareness, and letter sounds. It is geared toward students who are having trouble moving from the spoken word to the written word. This part of the program incorporates MAPs in the following way: building memory by developing the ability to hold a spoken word in working memory while retrieving picture concept associations. Improving attention by developing the ability to focus on tasks and ignore distractions. Developing processing of images and sounds quickly enough to discriminate between their differences. Developing sequencing by using potential clues to identify missing letters. Reading Level 1 emphasizes phonemic awareness, early decoding skills, vocabulary knowledge and skills, and motivation for reading. This level builds memory by developing the ability to hold a spoken word, sentence, or passage in a working memory while recalling letter sound associations, vocabulary, punctuation rules, or semantic information from long-term memory. It improves attention by requiring focused attention to listen while reading along and sustained attention across multiple passage segments and questions. It develops processing of images and sounds quickly enough to discriminate between their differences. Develops sequencing by using positional clues to identify missing letters, to reorder the letters of a scrambled word, or by tracking the temporal and causal event sequences in passages to answer comprehension questions. Reading Level 2 focuses on applying phonics and decoding strategies, improving word recognition, and understanding the rules for reading comprehension. This level builds memory by having students hold an incomplete sentence in working memory while recalling vocabulary, grammar, and punctuation rules from long-term memory. It improves attention by sustaining interest across multiple passage segments and questions. It develops processing by coordinating the auditory and visual processing of 2 perceptual streams, speech and written text. It develops sequencing by using word order and grammar to identify subtle difference in meaning among phrases, sentences, and passages. Reading Level 3 concentrates on reading knowledge and fluency with a focus on phonology and spelling, morphological properties and complexity, syntactic complexity, vocabulary, and comprehension. Level 3 builds memory by working on long-term recall of vocabulary and grammatical structures, improves attention by requiring selective attention to grammatical features of similar response alternatives, develops processing of images and sounds quickly enough to discriminate between their differences, develops sequencing by using word order to help determine precise meanings. Reading Level 4 applies knowledge of word origins, word forms, sentence structures, and punctuation rules to increase comprehension. This level builds memory by having students use working memory to compare paragraphs with single-sentence paraphrases, improves attention by enhancing the ability to focus on different aspects of presented vocabulary and ignore distractions, develops processing of images and sounds quickly enough to discriminate between their differences, develops sequencing by using logical relationships, word order, and syntax to identify precise meanings. Finally, Reading Level 5 concentrates on enhancing advanced reading comprehension and expanding vocabulary skills. It builds memory by having students hold words and sentences in working memory while completing or reorganizing sentences and paragraphs. It improves attention by allowing students to selectively focus on critical information while sustaining attention across longer text passages and question sets. Develops processing by enhancing fluency in extracting and integrating meaning from longer text passages. It develops sequencing by enabling the recognition of causal and temporal event sequences in text passages. If you would like to see demonstrations of possible activities for each level, please visit the website. Here are the directions on how to do so. So here's the Fast for Word Reading Series products website. So if you visit the website, you can see here is a list of all of the reading levels. So you can choose one, reading readiness, for example, and it will take you to an overview. And then over on the right-hand side, you can select demo. And then here are all of the possible activities. So you can select one of those, inside the tummy, for example.
Blue circle. Yellow triangle.
So we encourage you to visit the website and have a look at the various activities for each reading level to give you an idea of what they might look like.
The initial research on the prototype of the Fast for Word language program showed that children with language-based learning impairments, so major deficits in their recognition of some rapidly successive phonetic elements and non-speech stimuli, improved significantly in their abilities to recognize brief and fast sequences of non-speech and speech stimuli, with approximately 20 hours of computer-based training per week during a 4-week period. A second study was conducted with 22 children with LL1 ranging in age from 5 to 10 years old. The children were divided into two groups that were matched for nonverbal intelligence and receptive language abilities. Both groups were involved in exercises and games with trained clinicians. Only one group worked with the Fast for Word program. Results revealed that both groups improved significantly on all measures. The children exposed to Fast for Word programming evidenced greater improvement on measures of temporal processing, speech discrimination, and grammatical comprehension. Later research involved 20 dyslexic children and 12 children with normal reading abilities reading a simple rhyming passage. After reading, children were given brain scans using functional magnetic resonance imaging. After initial scans, the dyslexic children used the Fast for Word program for 8 weeks as part of their regular school day. At the end of week 8, brain scans revealed increased activity in the brains of the dyslexic children that represented a partial improvement in the disruptive responses found prior to FastForward training. Improved language and reading test scores were also reported for the FastForward group. Researchers concluded that the program may have changed brain areas related to the sound structure of language, which then led to improved language and reading outcomes. A study involving 7 children with LL1 between the ages of 5 and 9 characterized as having normal, nonverbal intellectual abilities, delays in receptive and expressive language development, and reading difficulties, participated in the FastForWord program. The children also received targeted speech and language exercises and games with trained clinicians. Results of this study found that performance on the FastForWord tasks improved significantly during the 4-week period.
In order for the FastForWord program to be successful, students need to be present for all sessions of the program. Absences highly affect the success of the program. The training sessions may be difficult to attend and schedule for teachers. It may be difficult for teachers to motivate students to complete the work since they would be missing out on other subjects. Also, computer graphics for the program may not be age-specific and can cause problems with motivation of students. At one middle school, some students had complained that the computer graphics were babyish and that their assignment to the program had made them feel stupid. Boredom due to the repetition of activities in the program may also become an issue with certain students. More empirical research is needed in support of the FastForWord program. Not all schools may have compatible technological equipment for the program. Schools may also not have sufficient funding to implement the FastForWord program. There are some serious flaws found in the research: inadequate subject selection criteria, limited control of assessment procedures, lack of control of Rosenthal effects, which are individuals who present treatment should not administer pre- and post-tests, failure to include a no treatment or a delayed treatment control group, and investigators did not collect pre- and post-training samples of spontaneous language.
So, although widely used in many settings, including the TTSB, more reliable research needs to be conducted regarding the effectiveness of the FastForWord program.